thank you guys for coming, taking your time out of your busy days to spend a little time with us this evening. This is our car care clinic. This is all about you and your relationship with your vehicles, your new Hyundais. We are here basically to keep you two happy. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like a good relationship on both sides. You do your part, we'll do our part to keep the car doing what it's supposed to do. But basically, this is to make sure that you understand how to maintain your car, the things that you need to do to keep it running well, keep it looking good, keep you looking good in it, right? And so we're going to give you some information for that.
Learned a lot of good stuff.
Yeah? What was the most important thing you learned?
Probably waxing correctly.
That's good, that's good. No more Mr. Miyagi, right?
Yep.
Right on. Well, we appreciate you coming out tonight. Is there anything special about this dealership you like? Anything that impressed you through your purchase experience so far?
The customer service was a lot of patience. It wasn't too much pressure. Really took care of you. You know, coming here friendly, not, you know, they don't want to hassle you. You know, they want to really take care of you guys. Right, Luke and Sean? You guys do a good job.
All right, right on. Well, we appreciate you coming out tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Email information. Email. The wave of the future, right? Communication. Communication between yourselves and Hyundai Corporation. Not so much Winward Auto Sales, even though we like to use it too, but communication between the customer base and Hyundai and a lot of other, manufacturers is going towards emails. That's the easiest way for people to be reached without being bothered, right? You get to choose and pick what you wish to read. You don't always want to answer your phones. Time differences, right? They call you at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're not happy, you don't hear nothing they say. But an email, you choose when you want to read it. There's a couple of good reasons for this. Communications from the manufacturer about your vehicle, right? If something comes up in the future where we need to do some updates, okay, that's how they let you know that information. Some people don't really do well with computers like myself. I know how to turn them on. That's about it, right? But I do want to say that it's important that we have an email for you and we can pass that on to Hyundai because that is a means that they use to communicate to you. And you want to definitely be able to receive all the information possible. We here at Winward Auto Sales, everybody has heard about our Quick Lube, right? We also do service specials. We do email blasts. Hyundai has a program where they will do, for those that lease, what they call pay it forward program. So you might have 6 months left on your lease and they want to send you a program saying, hey man, we'll pay off the rest of your lease payments or waive those last 6 months if you wish to get into a new vehicle. You wouldn't be able to receive that information unless we have that email address. So again, please, if you don't have one now, let's work on getting one. We can set it up for you if you need that help. Or again, we can use one of a close relative. That way we can get you the information you need. If you don't know what BlueLink is the system closely I can relate it to is OnStar for GM products. They was like one of the first ones to come out with it. It's a system that allows you to communicate through your vehicle with Hyundai Corporation, emergency road service, maintenance on your car, issues with your car. There's a lot of things that this BlueLink does, but we have to get you registered with it. So when you bought your car, if you did not register with BlueLink, please get with us. Get with one of our salespeople so we can get you registered. We have 2 different ways to do it. One is called Dealer Assist, where we do it here at the dealership, or we can give you a site to where you can do it at home. From my understanding, it's a little, complicated, so the Dealer Assist is the easiest. If you haven't registered with BlueLink, get with one of us, and we will assist you in doing that, okay? It's free service, doesn't cost you anything. There are options that you may, opt into if you want to keep it going, but for I think the first 6 months or so, it is at no cost to you. So let's get you registered and get you on your way to, happy driving many years down the road. Bluetooth. Bluetooth basically is your cell phones, right? Our cars, most of them, I'd say 95% of our cars come with Bluetooth. That means that your car has the ability to scan for your cell phone, right? And then link the two together so that you don't have to use your phone to the head, right, to receive phone calls and make phone calls. Now, we all know that technology changes so fast that it's very difficult to keep up with it. So, all I can say on that is, there is a list of compatible phones that we can pull up if you're having issues with Bluetooth on your phones. Some of us have stuff, I won't say it's antiquated, it's just not the latest materials, right? So if you have a phone that isn't compatible, there's not a whole lot we can do with that. We can pass on the information to Hyundai and say, look, this phone doesn't work, can you add it to the list? The only other fix is to get a phone that is compatible. Now, if you currently have a phone that isn't compatible, 9 times out of 10, you are due an upgrade, because that means you ain't changed your phone in years, right? And so, again, if you're having issue with Bluetooth, it's not linking up, it may be a compatibility issue, we can assist you with that. The issue he's having is the pronunciation. It's not picking up what he's saying. We have a lot of different dialects, a lot of different pronunciations, a lot of, who knows? I'm from the South, right? We have customers that are from Hawaii. Sometimes it doesn't understand. Perfect example is having navigation, right? And you put in there an address and then you hear what they repeat back. They have no clue how to pronounce half of these words, right? It's something that's really tough to deal with. They're working on it. Supposedly the newer systems in the Bluetooth are coming up with programs that assist the vehicle in understanding what we say. It learns, right? As we speak, the more we speak to it, the more it learns how to understand what we're saying. Exactly, just like us trying to understand each other. So there are systems in place that are helping to upgrade that. There's also keywords. There's keywords that the system does understand. So again, write that down on your comments, and we can get you a list of those keywords so that when you're asking for something, you'll know what to say so that it'll understand it, because it does not pick up everything, that's for sure, okay? So here's how the original BlueLink worked. There's 3 packages, right? There's a basic package, which basically is like a 911 type of thing, emergency road service, push the button, comes on. That's for 6 months. No, 12 months, right? 12 months. It was for 12 months. The basic coverage was for 12 months. Now, there's 2 additional packages which adds more features and benefits for our customers. Those were for 3 months for free, right? Now, if you gave them your credit card, right, up front, they don't charge you, but what it does is it doubles your free period. So when you register for BlueLink, you give them a credit card, you're not gonna be charged up front, but it doubles your free time. So if you, on the basic package, it would double that. If you did one of the other two packages, it would double it from 3 months to 6 months. So again, if you need assistance from us and help registering for BlueLink, we can walk you through that and give you those options at the time. Not every car has BlueLink, in case you was wondering. The initial cars that came out with BlueLink were the Sonata, the Veloster, and I think that was it. Yeah, the Veloster and the Sonata. Now the Elantra has been added to the BlueLink list, and also the Santa Fe. So those 4 cars currently have it. Eventually the whole line is gonna have it. They're working on that.
My name is Jerry Romano. I've been with Windward Auto Sales since 1990. I've been here a long time, and I started here as an auto technician and worked my way up. You guys probably hear me on the radio. I'm Jerry V, okay? And I'm the guy that says I'm the dealer for the people, and we mean that, okay? Let me give you a little history about myself before we go into that. I became a master technician, a shop foreman, a service advisor, all of that in the back end, I know. So if you ever have any problems with your car and it can't get resolved, just ask for Jerry, okay? And I will come out, and if I don't know the answer, I will find the answer for you, all right? It's a machine, there's not anything I can't fix, okay? One way or another, I'll figure it out. And hopefully, we won't ever come to that, but things happen, all right? So I want you guys to know that about me. Now, like I said, we're a dealer for the people, and we started that about a year and a half ago. We come up with this, and myself and the owner, we really wanted to mean something to the community, mean something to the car business, do something different, set ourselves apart from any other dealer. When times got bad in 08 and 09, we figured out something. The people that made a difference and kept us going here were our customer base, not new people coming in, the people that we built a family with over the years. So we started advertising, and what it's grown to is bigger and bigger and bigger every month. All right, and it really means we come up with this thing called the Bill of Rights, which is right there, and it's something that no other dealer has. And I want to go over a couple of key points with you. One is a lifetime engine warranty, which is Windward Hyundai and Windward Dodge's warranty. That's not Hyundai's warranty or Chrysler's warranty. The lifetime engine warranty says here, we will warranty your engine, your car for the life that you own that car, as long as you come back to us for all the maintenance requirements that are due on that vehicle over your ownership. If you ever have a problem with that engine, we will repair it or replace it. Okay? That's on our Bill of Rights. Another thing is free car washes. We want to wash your car once a week, and I'm going to go over that in a little bit later. Why? Once a week you can come in and get a free car wash. No other dealer does that. No other dealer gives you a lifetime engine warranty. Another one is tires for life. So we say, if you buy a car from us, new or pre-owned, we will help you pay for that tire when it wears out. Obviously, it will wear out. But if you come in and rotate your tires with us every 6,000 miles or 6 months, what you're supposed to be doing, and it wears below 4/32 of an inch, we're going to give you $150 credit towards a new tire. Okay? Each tire, $600 for 4 tires. No other dealer does that. Those are things we did to set ourselves apart. And plus the experience we give you and everything else. We have a express service. I hope all of you are introduced to that and know about that. The express service means that it's a no appointment necessary service. Okay? You don't have to call us up like other dealers and say, I need an oil change, and come here and wait in line for an hour and wait for your car for 2 hours to get the oil change. We knew over the years we caused problems as a dealership, as an industry in a whole, that made it hard for people to get oil changes. And where do you guys go? Jiffy Lube, Firestone, Goodyear, and defected away from the dealer. So what we did here at Windward Auto Sales is we built a separate facility. We have a separate department that actually changes oil. So all you gotta do is drive in the yellow lane and say, I need an oil change. And actually, you're gonna see Janelle. She's one of our express service advisors. Her smiley face, I'm sure some of you have dealt with her before, and she'll take care of you and get your car out in 30 minutes or less, or we'll give you your next oil change free. She'll hand you a card and say, here, it's on us, the next one, okay? Because that's how serious we are about customer service and about keeping you as a customer for life, all right? Now, enough about Windward Dodge, enough about me, Windward Hyundai. First thing I'd like to do is thank you guys for spending the time to come with us tonight, because this investment you made is probably the second largest purchase you'll do in your life besides buying your house, and you trusted us to do it. So let's get started about teaching, all right? I'm gonna go over first the warranty on your vehicles. Every vehicle that's a Hyundai, new or pre-owned, has a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper new vehicle limited warranty that comes with it, okay? From the original date of purchase. So if you bought it pre-owned, it's from the original date of purchase. 5-year, 60,000 miles. Now, a bumper-to-bumper is not all bumper-to-bumper. There's some exclusions, right? And I see, Janelle, you brought that little book there, so you can audit anything I say. She has a little cheat sheet book we have for the warranty, because everything isn't bumper-to-bumper. First thing is tires. No car sold in America, the manufacturer, Hyundai, Chrysler, Chevy, Ford, whatever, warranties the tires. They say, the government says that the tire manufacturer has to warranty the tires. So your tires actually do have a warranty on them, and it's for a defect from the manufacturer, but it's not through Hyundai. Okay, but with that said, we're a tire center too. we can warranty any of your tires here. You don't need to go anywhere else, okay? And that warranty is only, you know, if you have a vibration, it's out of round, something like that, and we find out it's bad, we replace it on the warranty, okay? And that's a prorated warranty depending on the wear on the tire. So that's not 5 years, okay? The next thing is the battery. Battery-free replacement on a Hyundai is 2 years, okay? The third year is prorated, and you would have to pay 75% of that battery, and Hyundai pays 25%, the labor's covered. After 3 years, there's no warranty on a battery in a Hyundai, okay? So you guys need to know that. The next thing is brake pads. Brake pads are a wearable item. No manufacturer can control how you drive as a consumer and say, I can warranty them pads for 5 years. Can't do it, okay? So it's 12 months is the warranty on brake pads. Past the 12 months from the original date of purchase, there is no warranty on wear on brake pads. Okay, so you guys need to know that. If you have problems with your brakes, squeaking, anything like that, come in the first year, all right? And talking about squeaking, one thing, if you do have, in the morning when you back out of your driveway, a little bit of squeak, it's nothing we can do about it. That's normal, okay? It's a common issue with the car, with not only your car, every car, because they're metallic pads. Hawaii has high humidity, and it does cause some resonance when you first press your brake. If it goes away after that, it's normal. But if you have a squeak repetitive throughout the day, then you come in and see me, okay? Another thing, wiper blades, 1 year, 12 months, all right? Wiper blades wear out after that. We'll probably tell you in the express lane because we check them when we go through there, okay? Bulbs, incandescent bulbs, which is conventional light bulbs, it's only 12 months, all right? But if the headlights, your headlights all halogen and all that type of stuff, those are 5 years. Your radio is 3 years, all right? I know that's a lot of stuff to remember. It's all in your owner's manual. Always refer to your owner's manual, okay? But I just want to let you know about the common ones that people have questions with. If you have a manual transmission, the clutch is 1 year, okay? Now, the second part of the warranty is the powertrain warranty. If you purchase the vehicle brand new, it's a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. The definition of powertrain is any internally lubricated part that's touching oil and turns. That's covered under the powertrain warranty, including a water punch shaft, CV axles, transmission part, engine components, any major component. Electrical components, your air conditioning, trim items, none of that's powertrain. Just those major components I mentioned. It's 10-year, 100,000 mile, and that's a non-transferable warranty. So if the vehicle is sold, that warranty goes away. You just got the 560. So if you bought it pre-owned, if it was not a certified vehicle, you only have the 560. If it was a certified vehicle, we paid to certify your vehicle and actually bring that 10-year warranty back, but it's not the original one. Paint is 3 years on a Hyundai. So if you have any paint issues, fading, cracking, or anything like that, 3 years. Rust perforation is 5 years or 100,000 miles. Rust perforation means you got rusting from the inside out. Not if you have a chip and there's rust on it, that's not warrantable because that's not a defect from the manufacturer. In the material or the workmanship, that's caused from outside influence. Let me explain that. So the question is, how do I keep my warranty valid? When we go in the shop after, I'm gonna go over all your maintenance requirements, but in your owner's manual it says to keep your warranty valid, you have to service your vehicle at a licensed repair facility, so you don't have to come back to the dealer. I would be lying to you if I said your warranty is gonna be void unless you come back here. That's not true. As long as you go to a licensed repair facility, right, and follow the guidelines of what the manufacturer says. And actually on the newer Hyundais, it's 7,500 miles between an oil change. That's what's recommended. Yeah, my recommendation is 3,750. Cut it in half. Yeah, because Hawaii, the stop and go traffic, the hills, the mountains, it's crazy. I see the oil come out. It comes out black. Actually, I got some parts in the shop I may be able to show you guys later on an older vehicle that the person didn't change their oil, all crud all over. The oil just breaks down. We'll go over that in the shop. But to answer your question, you have to go to a licensed repair facility and do what your owner's manual says. is AC mildew smell. This is something, like I said, I was a technician. I was a technician for, I don't know, 12, 15 years. And I would get in cars and I'd smell this mildew, after it's about 2 years old, and people would complain about it all the time, still till today. Again, high humidity in Hawaii, mildew, bacteria grows in these air conditioning systems. So if you guys had AC at home, you take the front plate off your air conditioner on a window unit, and you see that silver coil there? Well, that silver coil is under your dash, okay? And you can't see it on a car. If you notice, when you took that plate off, everything's kind of moist. Well, you got that moisture on your dash. And that, if you use your AC all the time, in Hawaii, we never use our heater. That thing never really dries out. Mold starts to grow. And then after time, you get this smell. So I'm telling you, while your cars are new, a way to prevent it. Once a month, run your heater. Dry it out on there. It'll kill any of that bacteria. That's the first thing. Okay? The second thing is you have a recirculation and a fresh air mode on your air conditioning systems. You guys know that? Okay, recirculation, what that's for is to recirculate the air in the car so you don't smell outside fumes on a bus, traffic, in a tunnel. Other than that, you really shouldn't be using it too much. Because if you're recirculating air in a car, mold will grow faster, right? Because of the dampness in the car, it'll never dry out. So use fresh air more than none. Use a recirculation when you need to use it, when you don't want to smell outside air. Okay? Those are 2 tricks that you guys need to know. Back to the brakes. So I went over the brake squeak. Another thing is anti-lock brakes. Every vehicle you have here that you guys own have anti-lock brakes. Anti-lock brakes, there's an acronym for it, ABS, right? Okay. And what happens is when you make a panic stop, say somebody jumps out in front of you, whatever, and you need to stop, you're gonna feel your brake pedal just pounding on your foot, almost massaging your foot. And you're gonna get panicked. You can say, oh my God, what is that? Okay? That's the anti-lock brakes working, activating. They're sensing your vehicle slowing down at not an even rate, your tire locking up, hydroplaning on the ground, and it's releasing your brake pedal within milliseconds. So you have a controlled stop. So when you feel that happen, you need to stand on the brake and let the computer do the work for you. Does that make sense? In the old days, our parents said, when that starts to happen, your vehicle starts skidding, pump my brakes so I can control the stop. Well, with anti-lock brakes, you need to make sure you stand on your brakes and the computer will do it for you. And don't panic if you feel that brake pedal vibrate like that. All right? It's another question I get all the time. I'm going to go over one more thing in here, which is washing your car, taking care of the exterior and interior of your vehicle, which is very important. It's part of maintenance, right? Then we're going to take a little break. You can use the bathrooms, restrooms, whatever you want to do. Drink some water, okay? And then we'll all go in the shop. And there's some technicians that stayed late, our parts manager, and we're going to learn about the maintenance of your vehicle. You're going to get to walk underneath your vehicle and all that in the shop. And at the end of the clinic, we're going to deploy an airbag. So you guys get to see what happens when an airbag deploys, okay? And you're gonna learn about wearing your seatbelt. You're gonna want to know why you gotta wear your seatbelt after you see that, all right? So, I got this bucket, I got some rags and all this stuff here. And I got these products. Now these products are all professional products. They're made by Auto Magic. And I go over this all the time. Because I feel that taking care of this part of your car makes you feel better when you get in your car. And it'll make your car last a lot longer. So we're going to start with washing the exterior of your car. Now we have free car washes. You want to come in for a car wash, all you got to do is call us up or go on our website and go to service tab. I don't know if anybody's ever used it. And boom, click For the People Car Wash and your appointment's set, right? Or call 233-6000 or 791-1800. Ask for service and we'll set you an appointment for a car wash, okay? I'm going to get to that. That paper, he's asked about the paper. That's different prices on all our detail packages. If you don't want to do this. So after I do all this, you can decide what you want to do, okay? So, first thing is, you want to wash your car once a week, the exterior wash, all right? And you can do a hand wash, or you can use a car wash. Honda Windward has a very good car wash. I hate to mention their name in my clinic, but they have a nice car wash, the Auto Spa right here, which works well, okay? I don't recommend using a Aloha gas station or something like that, but the ones that are like McKinley, the one in Waipio, and this one here, those three are probably the best car washes on the island, and they work pretty well, okay? So if you don't want to do this, you want to use a car wash, you can, okay? Or you can hand wash, which is always pretty much the best. You want to use good products. You want to get a wash mitt. You never want to wash your car with a sponge, because a sponge will hold on to the dirt you pick up and scratch your car. Okay, so use something like this or a soft bristle car wash brush. Okay, get yourself some car soap. Don't use Dawn or Tide because it bubbles up and suds up nice. What it does is it strips the wax off the car, strips the sealants, and dulls your paint. You want to get a light, mild car wash detergent. Okay, it's in the bucket. I got this bucket right here. I put all these products in the bucket. Now, water hose and do it in a shaded area. Do it in the morning or do it in the afternoon when the car's cool. Okay, don't do it in the hot sun because it's gonna streak up your car, all right? Wet the car down, wet this down, all right? Get the soap, pour the soap right on here, okay? Don't pour it in a bucket and put water in the bucket. You don't even need to do that. Why? Because every time you put it in the bucket, you're picking up dirt. It's no good. If you want to do that, there's like a cage to put on the bottom that raises up a little bit so the dirt falls to the bottom. All you got to do is wet this, put soap on here, wash half the car you can get with this. Usually if it's real big, maybe a quarter of the car at a time. Rinse it out, more soap, wash, right? Top to bottom. It's the first thing. Now you want to clean your rims as you're washing the car, right? Now the rims, you got to be careful because they have a clear coat on them. They have paint on them. People don't realize that, and they scratch them up. Get a soft bristle brush like this. See how soft this is, right? I like this long one so I don't need to bend down, you know, like bend scrub right here, okay? Do not clean your rims with rim cleaner. They got that Wheel Bright, you can buy at Checker and all that. That has acid in it. It dulls the rim, it damages it. What you want to use is Simple Green. A good heavy-duty degreaser, that's all you need. Spray it on your rims at full strength. First spray water, spray that. Agitate it with this. Rinse it off, your rims will look great. If you did that once a week, you keep them shiny all the time, okay? If you want, get yourself a hard bristle brush and do the same thing with the Simple Green and scrub the tire, okay? I don't have Simple Green in here. I do have a degreaser, a power foam degreaser. It's pretty much the same thing, okay? But that is what you want to use as a degreaser, okay? Now, when you dry your car, you want to use one of a couple things. A chamois. This is not a natural chamois, it's a synthetic chamois. Or a microfiber chamois, but not a terry cloth towel. Okay, terry cloth towels work good, but the cloth, the fibers are too big and it can scratch the paint, right? They'll make hairline scratches in your paint. So get something like this. Rinse this, bring it out, okay? Dry the car top to bottom. Self-explanatory, right? This and this, when you're done with them, if you want to keep them good, you throw them in the wash or scrub them out and hang them. Don't put them in the dryer, okay? That's pretty much washing the exterior. Once a week you want to do that, right? Nothing special to it. The glass you can wash with the wash mitt. You don't got to use glass cleaner. When you're using a hose, get a low pressure nozzle. Always do on the fender wells with the pressure. And the rim's good, right? Like I said, when you spray it, spray down the rim. On the fender wells, that'll keep dirt from building up under there. If you did that once a week, again, you will prevent the dirt from building up, okay? So when the water dries, it leaves a ring, right? So if the water spot's on the glass, the specific question you got, it's real hard to get out. we have an abrasive cleaner. It has to be abrasive, like a compound, and manually have to scrub them out. Now, there is acids that get them out, okay? And I bought them over the years for my detail guys, right? Because it gets them out quick. You wipe it off. But also, that acid could damage the windshield and leave haze marks. So be careful. The best way to prevent the water spots is the next step I'm getting to next is wax in the car and maintenance. Because over time, those water spots will come if you don't have a coat of wax on it. All right? Another thing is sprinklers. Don't park by a sprinkler. If you live in a condo and them sprinklers go on and you got no choice, I would complain if that thing's going on my car to the property manager and say, look, man, have them come and turn that sprinkler head or something, get away from my car, because it will damage your paint. It will eat into your paint. And sometimes you can't get them water spots. No matter how hard you buff or whatever we do professionally to get them off, they'll damage the paint on the car, okay? So now we're gonna talk about wax in the car. Once a month, you should put a coat of wax in your car, okay? What you wanna use, the product is a Carnauba wax. Carnauba, remember that name. Because Carnauba is a natural product and it makes a great barrier between the atmosphere and the clear coat on the car, right? See, has anybody heard of industrial fallout? Anybody heard of that? Yeah? Some of you heard of it. Okay, industrial fallout comes from the atmosphere, airplanes flying over, them brakes are metallic I talked about, little pieces of metal flying in the atmosphere. Well, it lays on top of your paint. And if you go look at a white car, I guarantee you'll see little rust dots in the paint. You'll be like, wow. If you own a white car, go look at your car, you got it. Okay, you're gonna say, my car's rusting. Jerry, I need a new paint job. Well, that's not what it is. It's not coming from the car, it's coming from the atmosphere and it's laying on top of your paint. And eventually it's gonna start embedding in the paint and staining the paint. Now, a way to prevent it from embedding in the paint is once a month putting a coat of wax on there, right? Now you got the atmosphere, you got the fallout, you got the wax, and then you got your paint. So the fallout's staying on top of the wax, and then when you wash your car, you're knocking it right off, okay? But once a month is pretty often to wax your car, but it really should be done. And the proper way to do it is you always want to have good products. You always want to have clean products, all right? Get a mitt, just like this, okay? This is a wax applicator. This one I recommend, a professional wax applicator. You get it nice and moist, okay? Not soaking wet, just moist to wring it out. This you can pour right on a cool hood, cool roof, whatever, or you can put it on here. Now when you apply it, you don't want to do like Mr. Miyagi said and wax on, circular motions. Don't do that. What that will do is create webbing because you're always using the same motion and you'll see web marks, especially in dark cars. What you want to do is apply it like this, in a latitudinal motion, okay, back and forth, right? Let it haze up, and then when you wipe it off, you get yourself a microfiber towel and go the opposite way, right? Crosshatch pattern. If you always do that, you won't get that web mark. You really won't see much scratches, okay? But I'm gonna tell you, if you have a black car in the sunlight, no matter what you do, how good you take care of it, you will see fine scratches. It is what it is, you know? We got a body shop, he does show cars, and you know, after they wash that car one time you put it in the sun, it happens, okay? So you gotta be, if you have a black car, you know, don't drive yourself crazy looking in the sun, because it's gonna happen. But to prevent that webbing, do like I said, okay? The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna show you a little technology. Rajik's grabbed, it's called a GDS. All it is a laptop, a tough book that actually communicates with your vehicle. When you come in and you have a diagnostic issue like a check engine light, that yellow amber lamp, or the ABS light we talked about, airbag light, anything like that, we hook this computer up to your car. And if you remember Cliff Reed talking about Blue Link, well, let me explain to you how the technology works today. This is how high tech it is. If you have Blue Link and your check engine light comes on in your car, right? It communicates to Hyundai's database, then communicates to the dealer. It'll tell you, do you want to set a service appointment? Ties into our database, sets a service appointment, feeds into this thing right here, gives us your fault code so we're prepared to repair your vehicle. It's that high, okay? Now with this laptop, I think Roger's going to turn on your windshield wipers right now. Is that correct? Okay. So let it just load up, and you're going to see the windshield wipers turn on in this car, just like this. Okay? That's technology, isn't it? How can he talk to your car and tell the wipers go on with a laptop? Isn't that amazing? What else can you do? Okay, he's going to turn on the headlamps.
The low beam. You can turn on your high beam.
Horn. Right turn signal, left turn signal, horn, just with a laptop. And the reason I want to show you this is I already talked about we have an express lane, and years ago we did a bad job pushing your way to other places, right? Going to all them other places. Well, now we have all the amenities at a dealership, so you don't have to go anywhere else. We want you to come here, and we're not going to be overpriced and push you away. We're going to be competitive. Our oil change is $35. We give you 120 days of roadside assistance coverage, road hazard coverage on your tires for a $35 oil change. Goodyear doesn't do that, okay? Goodyear don't even give you a 20-minute oil change, your next one's free, or a 30-minute oil. We do that, right? And Goodyear does not have this machine as well. See, we always had this machine for years, and that's why, as dealers, we were a little arrogant and said, well, we got that, so come to us. But we also got everything else now. Tires, we're a tire center. I'll match price tires on anybody, okay, including Costco. That's what I do. Me and Sal talk about it all the time. Customer wants to go somewhere else, we'll pick up the phone, Sal, and call that other place with them, see what the tires cost, because I know we'll beat their price. We're competitively priced. We're set up to do the maintenance. We're set up to do the detailing. We're set up to do all that because we want you to be part of our family. That's how important you are to us. And we're going to go over the basic inspection on a car you can be doing yourself, or you do when you come into with us for an oil change. Every time you come in for an oil change, we don't only just change the oil on your car, rotate your tires. We do a complete multi-point inspection every time. So the first thing we're going to look at on each vehicle is the brake fluid. You want to be checking the brake fluid on your vehicle. Now, if you notice, that fluid is amber in color. And the reason it's amber is that's what new fluid is. When it gets old, it gets dark and it gets black. In your owner's manual, it'll tell you nowhere that you need to ever replace that fluid. My suggestion is every 2 years, replace that fluid out. And if your brake fluid has moisture in it, it will lower the boiling point of that fluid and you'll get a thing called brake fade. You got high humidity, it absorbs moisture, it lowers the boiling point of the fluid. Is a moral of the story. Replace it every 2 years. There's a full and an add mark. You want your fluid to stay in between there. We will check this fluid every time you come in to make sure. If you are down to the add mark, we won't add the fluid. We're going to say you need a brake inspection to find out why the fluid is low. Either your brake pads are worn to the point where they need to be replaced, or you have a leak. Every time you come in, we use this battery tester here, and it checks the amperage, the cold cranking amperage of the battery. These new testers today can tell me the battery is going to fail soon. And now we can tell you, hey, you possibly may have a problem with your battery, and this is the reason why, and we show you the receipt. Okay? So there's really not much you can check yourselves at home, but a visual inspection of the battery post to make sure you don't have any acid on them. And it looks like a white fuzz that builds up on there. See how they're nice and clean, them posts? You can't check fluid in your batteries anymore for your old timers. You can't do any of that because they're all sealed. All right? Okay, next thing we're gonna go to is the radiator fluid. It's cooling. Now, can you guys show them the pressurized cap? Sal, Jeremy, and Rajic, there's a pressurized cap. That cap never ever open. If the vehicle's hot, never even touch it. Okay, these guys can open it now if they want, but there's no reason for you to open it as a consumer. Always check the overflow bottle. There's a bottle somewhere on those cars, and you guys could point them out, that you could visually look at. If there's coolant in there, you're good to go. And that's non-pressurized. So all you gotta do is visually look in there, okay? And on these cars, it's green or orange. The coolant's good for 2 or 5 years on these vehicles, depending on the vehicle, all right? You guys all look at that? Okay, next, let's move on to the washer fluid, okay? The washer fluid has a blue cap on most of these cars. Is it blue on all the cars? Color-coded, right? All you need to add in there is water. If you want to add a washer solvent, buy an approved washer solvent from an auto parts store, or go to our parts department, we have it. Do not add Windex. It'll damage the rubber. It'll clog up the pumps. Don't add ammonia. It'll do the same thing. Okay, please. I see people do it all the time. It just causes nothing but grief. Buy an approved washer solvent. If you move into the mainland, make sure it doesn't freeze. It's good up to 0 degrees, okay? Okay, so 1 out of 3 cars have power steering fluid today. The pump is electric for the ones that don't have it. Why'd they go to an electric pump, Hyundai? To improve fuel economy. See, the ones that has fluid, the pump runs off a belt. It's hydraulic driven, and the engine has to drive the belt to drive the pump, okay? Now, Hyundai figured out, well, you take that pump off, put an electric pump, less fuel, less load, okay? That's why there's no power steering fluid. The only one is this Genesis has the fluid, and that's a closed system. You should never have to aft it. Engine oil, there's different weights on different cars. So you pull a dipstick out like Jeremy just did, wipe it with a rag, and push it back in. Now you want to check this oil when the car is cold, meaning it's been shut off for about 10 minutes, okay? Because the oil needs to drain to the bottom of the engine. Very important, add in full, and they're showing you guys what the add in the full mark is. If it's above the add mark, that's too much oil, it could damage your engine. If it's below the add mark, too little oil could damage the engine. Synthetic oil is natural, it's not fake. We didn't make it, okay? The difference between conventional engine oil and synthetic engine oil is synthetic is chemically engineered. So they take the oil molecules, the engineers, reform them and make them all even so that they're all the same size. So the difference between conventional engine oil and synthetic engine oil is if you took marbles and rocks, and marbles with my left hand and rocks with my right hand, and I threw them, which one goes further and smoother? The marbles, right? Well, that's synthetic versus conventional. The molecules are all even like marbles. Synthetic is better, okay? Because what deteriorates in the oil is not the oil. What deteriorates is the chemicals put in oil, the detergents to clean the inside of the engine, okay? The properties to have the oil adhere to the metals, that's what deteriorates. The moral of the story is one of the most important things is change engine oil religiously. Your engines will last for a long, long time. Why do you think Jerry V says, I'll warranty engine for life? All you got to do is change your oil. How firm I believe it, okay? All right, so now, what oil do I put in my engine? Look on the oil cap. Show them where the oil cap is if they have to add oil. It tells you. What's the weight on that, Jeremy? 520? Okay, so it's 5W20 on this vehicle right here. That's the viscosity. How fast the oil flows through the engine, how thick the oil is. 0 is the thinnest, right? 30 is heavier. So that's 530. So 5, when the engine's cold, it's at 5 weight, so it can flow quicker, and then when it warms up, it goes to 30, okay? That's what that means. So you have to buy an oil that says 530 on that one, whatever that one says and whatever that one says, read the cap. And then it says one other thing, SAE. SAE stands for Society of Automotive Engineers. So the oil has to be rated by SAE and have the correct weight, and that's the right oil to put in it. Don't worry about the brand, all right? In our express lane, we use Pennzoil. Great oil, they have good cleaning properties. Different weight could cause problems, believe it or not. Your check engine light could come on. Your engines have different things in there that causes the timing to change and this stuff, and it's all driven off the weight of the oil. So if you change the weight, the time that these valves and things open up can trigger a problem. All right, so you gotta use the right weight oil in your car, it's important. Okay? All right, now, that's all under the hood. The one thing I didn't mention is transmission fluid. You can't check the transmission fluid on any of these cars. It's a sealed transmission, period. Okay? We'll check it on your major service with a computer. We take out a plug, get the computer right temperature, put a little tool in there and make sure it's full. But it should never get low, right? Okay? The tires, the main thing you want to do is check inflation on the tires. Does anybody know where to get the specification for the right inflation on the tires on your car? Where do you look? The tire is the maximum inflation that tire will cover. Okay? Not the specified inflation that's engineered for the car. You open your door and the door jamb will tell you most cars are 32 PSI cold. That's before the car's driven. Because with heat, the pressure changes. All right? So you want to make sure once a month you're checking your tire pressure because you can lose up to 3 pounds of pressure each month on your tires. So make sure you're checking the tires once a month. You can always stop in. We can check it for you. Get yourself a little gauge and check it before you drive the car. Boom. Now you all have a tire pressure warning system that's supposed to go off if your tire pressure gets too low. That's when you get below 30 PSI, boom, it goes off. Now, I have people check their tire pressure when they're after they've driven their car, put it right to 32, and then they wake up the next morning and tire light's on. I said it changes with temperature, right? So if the car's hot, you put your thing to 32, when it cools down, it maybe go to 29, 28, triggers a light. Make sure you're checking it cold before you drive, 32 PSI, okay? Another thing, your tires, you wanna rotate them every 6 months, all right? Important. Why? Because it's gonna wear evenly. That's why I say in the Bill of Rights, I'll help you pay for your tires as long as you rotate them, because I want you to get the best performance out of your tires and the longest performance out of your tires, right? You're doing yourself an injustice if you don't rotate your tires because your car won't handle properly. So make sure you bring it into us. When we do the oil change, we'll do the rotation, right? Now, Roger, do you have a thread depth gauge? Do you have a thread depth gauge, Sal? All right, show everybody on the tires the thread depth gauge. Okay, you see that little gauge he's putting there? When them tires are new, they're about 11 to 12/32 of an inch. The depth of the thread to the bottom of the tire. Okay, when it wears down beyond 4/32, that's when I say to replace the tires. The state safety inspection says below 3/32 you have to, or we gotta fail the safety check, right? So right around 3/32 is where you need to replace your tire. So every time you come in, I'm gonna measure your tires, okay? And you're gonna see over time your tires wearing little at a time because it's natural. And then I'm gonna say you need to replace it, okay? So it's important that either you keep an eye on it or I keep an eye on it, come in here. When it's at proper time, we replace your tires out, okay? That's how we measure them. I just wanted to show you guys how we measure it.
As you can see, these cars are very well protected underneath. They got the covers.
Yeah.
This is where we drain the oil right here. We made a little peephole for it, so you don't have to take the whole cover off. Just put a wrench up there and the oil will spill on into the drain. And the oil filter itself is up top of the engine. You have your driveline components here, the steering and the axles, down up through the struts. This is a rear-wheel drive vehicle. You got lower ball joints and this McPherson strut assembly on the right side of the vehicle, also on the left side. If you take a look at this shiny component here, that's your brake caliper. Brake calipers are very heavy duty these days, and of course they're controlled by the ABS system, and they control the braking on the vehicle electronically also. When the ABS performance takes over, these calipers are controlled electronically with a signal from the computer to lock and unlock the brakes. Moving on, we got the exhaust system here continued. I have a pretty brave right now touching it because it's nice and cold. This is your catalytic converter right here, very expensive unit, both in dual exhaust system. They control the flow of the exhaust and they vapor it through for proper emissions in our atmosphere. Continuing on, we have a baffle, which is like a deadening sound for the exhaust system. continues out to the back onto what's actually the real muffler down here. Now, this is your driveline drive shaft for the drive of the vehicle. You got the differential back here, and you got the axles on here, which turn the rear wheels on this vehicle. Most of our vehicles today are front-wheel drive vehicles. This is the Genesis. It's got a big engine, 3.8 with power, and it's still designed conventionally with the rear-wheel drive, just like the old vehicles were and trucks nowadays. The front-wheel drive, all of this drivetrain here is up in the front, lightweight in the back. You feel free to welcome to go to these other vehicles that are all front-wheel drive. This is our only rear-wheel drive vehicle in the shop today. Do I have any questions? I got the fuel tank located in this section right here, over the exhaust. Anybody tell me why the fuel tank is here? Well before the back of the vehicle instead of back here? Safety, exactly. We've learned a lot from mistakes that were created back in the old days when vehicles were rear-ended. Gas tanks located back here with a high impact would explode, made out of metal. Nowadays, they're making them out of plastic, and they're up further on the vehicle for less impact. It would take a lot to get damaged this fuel tank up here in this position. Now, they designed it over the exhaust, of course, to make it fit, and the economy of the vehicle will allow the compartment to carry a spare, where most don't nowadays. They carry these little pumps. Interesting design. Most of the vehicles have the fuel tanks up closer to the middle of the vehicle now, as opposed to where they had them in the rear. Any questions?
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Sensors for the catalytic converter.
Okay, the catalytic converter sensors. Okay. If you follow up here, see I got my hand on the sensor now. That's an O2 sensor. What that does, it monitors the exhaust going through here by the computer. It tells you if it's running too rich or too lean, and the computer will make adjustments.
All right, Sal, that's good. Where is this thing here? Where is the spare tire? Sal, how do I get to the spare tire? Where is it? Do you know?
Hyundai's frugal.
I got one right here.
It is.
All right. Remember earlier I was talking about fuel economy and the power steering pump went away? And there's an electric motor for that? Well, guess what? Fuel economy. Weight equals load equals takes more torque and more horsepower to push the vehicle, which equals more fuel. Hyundai figures out if I take the spare tire out and put this light thing in here, I can get better fuel economy out of vehicles. So there is no spare tire in most of your vehicles. Okay? So I know in the letter I sent you to come, the invitation, I said, learn how to change your spare. Well, at least I could talk about it, all right? It's a pump and some glue, all right? Now, if you get a flat, one thing I didn't talk about with your warranty, the 560, is you get 5 years, 60,000 miles of roadside assistance coverage with a Hyundai. If you get a flat, familiarize yourself with the 1-800 number that's in your owner's manual. Have it in your wallet. Okay, you get stuck with programming your cell phone. Call that number, know where you're at, know your VIN number, your vehicle identification number. Have them come out and change it for you and bring it to the dealer. We'll fix the tire. Okay? Period. Don't even mess with this on the road. If you really have to, you really have to. But you got the coverage for 5 years, 60,000 miles. Now, anytime you change oil with us, I give you coverage beyond that too. You're gonna get a little sticker up in the left-hand column, a little reminder sticker that says your benefits are gonna expire in 4 months, 120 days. What that means is I give you free roadside assistance coverage that if you do get a flat, if your vehicle breaks down, or you lock yourself out of the car, whatever, you call that 1-800 number that's on that sticker, and there's a unique ID number on each sticker that they will come out and help you too if you can't get through to the other number, or if you don't have factory warranty, or if you have another car in your household you want to bring in for an oil change that's an older vehicle you want the coverage on, change your oil and you got the coverage with me. It's only good for 4 months. So we're a dealer for the people. We give you that because we want to give you added value for your oil change, but I'm going to give you a little secret. It's a retention tool as well because it's only good for 4 months. After that, you got to come back to renew it, right? It's a little trick. I like it. I think it's fair. I give you something, you come back, you change your oil with me. But in addition, which Hyundai doesn't give you, which you do get with that, is road hazard coverage on your tires. Okay? Road hazard coverage on that flat you got, as long as it's caused by a road hazard, we'll change or repair the tire. If it's non-repairable, we'll replace it up to $150 as well. Because the Bill of Rights, the Safe Tires for Life, is a wear warranty. It's not a road hazard warranty. Okay? So you'll be covered. You come here for service, you're covered on your tires. All right? So that's a spare. Let me put this thing back. If you really want to purchase a spare, I've had people ask me, you can. There's a kit, an accessory kit you can purchase, and we can put a spare in there for you. Just call road hazard up, roadside. Familiarize yourself with the phone number though. Keep it in your wallet, program it in your cell phone. These airbags, they cost about $1,000, $1,000 to $1,500. On your Hyundai, you got it in your driver's passenger, right? You got in the side curtains above you, in the headliner. You got them in the seats. You're really protected, okay? And what I want to talk about is safety first with an airbag. The acronym for airbag system is SRS. That's the acronym. And what that stands for is Supplemental Restraint System. Primary restraint system in your vehicle is what? Seat belts. Please, always wear your seat belts. Okay? That's the first thing. That's what's going to save your life. The airbag's just like the gravy, is going to help you not get as damaged. Okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is, a lot of people always ask me about the passenger side. I got this thing that says airbag off when some people sit in it, then the light's not on. What is this? Well, in the passenger seat, there's a scale. Depending on how heavy you are and how big you are, that means that airbag will deploy or not, depending on your weight in that seat, okay? So it's okay to put smaller people in the passenger seat, it'll say airbag off, okay? But with that scale, that doesn't mean you can put an infant or a baby seat in there because they're small in the front. Never do that. Because one thing is you gotta strap it in, right? So you get on top of the seat, wrench it down, strap it in. How much weight you putting on that scale? That airbag's gonna deploy. Dangerous, okay? That can kill the baby. Never, ever put an infant. The safest place for a child seat is the centermost point in the vehicle, okay? Centermost point in the vehicle on any vehicle. That's what you do with that, all right? Does that answer the questions on the seat? How it works with scale in there? Okay. So, please, I hope it goes off. We're gonna do it on a count of 3. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be quick. And that's it. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Oh. Went off. How you like that? Is that great or what? Now you see this smoke coming out? That's an explosive charge. Imagine what happens when you get in an accident, how scary that is. But it'll help save your life. Okay, it's a little warm, it's a little hot. You really shouldn't breathe the smoke. Okay? But it is what it is. Okay? That don't happen, that's the connectors. But actually, what does happen when you get in an accident is that there's a piece behind there that actually melts from the heat. And it costs a lot of money to fix this. I said this is $1,000 to $1,500. Then you got the connectors behind it you gotta change. You gotta change the impact sensors. You gotta change the computer. It's a $3,000 job, okay? For an airbag. So drive safe, okay? All right, any questions on this? This concludes the clinic. I hope everybody got good information. We're gonna go back inside. We're gonna draw the prize. We're gonna take a quick tour of the facility after the prize. I'll bring you down to parts. The valet parkers will be down there. They'll get you cars down there because I want you to fill out that survey and turn in the parts. Everybody gets a parting gift, remember. And Jerry, remember the 20%, okay? Thank you, okay? That's all. Thank you for coming tonight, guys.